I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. I'll keep going till my till my speakers can't. I'll keep going till my speakers can't blow. 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 Till my speaker calm. I'll keep going 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 till my speaker calm.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town.
this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, Kidia, and 1xBet.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the ESL Challenger League Season 50 Grand Final. Of course, everything is a little bit different here this season. We got 4 cups going on, and right here we are at the end of the first 3 weeks of that first cup. But I'm not here just by myself. I am joined by the one and only lovely Sam. Are you excited here for tonight as well?
Oh, absolutely. I got to end off the South American Cup last night with the grand final there. That was an adventure. A lot of fun was had in that 3-map series. So looking forward to seeing what Europe has for in store for us for their grand final.
Exactly. I mean, it's exciting. You know, we're at the end of this 3-week journey. All these teams have battled it out. We've got one team here that has gone clean all the way thus far. So the stakes are high because there's a lot to play here for.
Absolutely. And taking a look at our bracket, we can see here that it has been relatively well contested. A lot of 3-map series amongst a lot of really strong competition here. But unfortunately, only 2 teams could make their way up to our grand final. So looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like. Of course, it's going to be BetBoom versus PARIVISION. And both rosters have a lot of really solid talent, but on top of that, there's some storied talent here. They are some players that have been around for a hot minute, even have a couple of memes behind their names, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform on the server this evening, because of course, winning here, you book yourselves that one-way ticket to the regional final.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main factor when it comes down to, all the history of these teams, we've got this young blood joined by the old-fashioned experienced blood, and Arcadia player to watch, therefore, is also James. Now, this team has gone through a couple of changes at one point not too long ago that kicked it in the lead, but James now took over the IGL role once again, is back in those shoes with the AWP, of course, are still on his back. But I'm excited to see what he's going to be bringing to the table, because his stats thus far have been up on the scoreboard. So I'm excited to see if he can take the team to a victory tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty darn exciting. I mean, he's been around for a little while, and as you said, his stats with the team so far have been fantastic. Over 280 maps played with a 1.1 rating is nothing to scoff at. But you were talking about how there's been a couple of changes, and obviously Orr has just joined the roster within kind of the last few weeks, so there's a little bit of potential growing pains there. But luckily for them, if we take a look at BetBoom, and of course this is the roster that Boomich ended up joining a little bit earlier this year. I had the pleasure of casting him earlier on in the year on this roster as well. But they have been joined by 2 new players as well, Artfrost and Dilladez, and these should be 2 names that should not be unfamiliar to anyone really within the tier 2 scene. And Artfrost himself actually was on, or had a stint on PARIVISION for some time before unfortunately being benched and then eventually being let go of. So both teams kind of having these growing pains to have to deal with, but it does look like the 2 new pickups for BetBoom have really been putting in a lot of work. They've been looking very solid on the server so far. So looking forward to seeing how that's going to match up today. Again, a very, very important matchup for both of these teams. And bearing in mind that perhaps the teams that were participating in this event might have been a little bit more scant because there've been so many other things going on, right? And teams kind of have to, they're forced to decide, well, what tournaments do they want to participate in? And we've seen it in some of the other regions as well, where teams, have chosen not to focus on this first cup. But there will be 3 more cups. But if you can snag that win here, then you don't have to worry for the next few. So, of course, when you have a team, you need a battle arena. And it looks like our first arena is going to be Ancient.
Yeah, this is exciting. I mean, to be fair, I think this is kind of still sort of surprised, but it's also a relatively good map here for BetBoom, like their 3rd most played, sort of like in the middle of the pack for them. So I feel, and especially with Train coming after, like these 2 maps are sort of in the middle grounds for both these teams. So this is going to be exciting because honestly, we could easily see an upset here.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that does pan out. You're talking about how it looks fairly even, and absolutely right. Ancient is very much middle of the pack. That being said, the sample sizes for PARIVISION over the last 3 months are much bigger than what we see for BetBoom. BetBoom realistically only have 2 maps that they've had like a ton of playtime on, whereas PARIVISION have 2 maps that are sitting in 20 plus, and one of them happens to be Ancient. Now, unfortunately, they've gone somewhat 50-50 on that, but with that much practice on it, you've got to be thinking that they must be feeling at least somewhat comfortable on that map pick. Comfortable enough, of course, to let that come through in the veto. And then we will move on to with that being PARIVISION's map pick, then BetBoom picking into Train. That's a really interesting one as well because it's also very much a coin flip. Both teams having played it 8 times. Both teams sitting at a 50-50. Very tough to call. I've actually been really happy though because a lot of teams seem to be more comfortable picking into Train recently.
Yeah, I'm excited. Train is honestly my good old fave map. I'm so glad that after this very long hiatus that we had, it's eventually back and teams are getting more comfortable with it. But yeah, at the end of the day, honestly, I could see this go 3 maps. What is your opinion? Do you think we are going to go all the way? Is this going to be leaning more in towards one team's favor? What do you reckon?
It's a tough one. I think part of me has a little bit of a favor just towards BetBoom, just because like on paper, looking at the players that they have, there is so much firepower here. I mean, obviously we've mentioned Boomich, and I spoke about kind of the storied players, the players that have been around the block for quite some time, and that's Boomich and Jame on the other side. But then you bring in talent like Art Frost and Dilladez, who've also been on some really strong rosters in recent times. Magnadez has also been somebody that I've really enjoyed watching. So I think on paper, I definitely lean a little bit more towards BetBoom here. And I think that part of the reason that PARIVISION just have so many maps under their belt is that they've kind of been forced to have to play that much more in terms of like kind of some of the smaller tournaments and so on, just kind of trying to farm that VRS as much as possible. Whereas BetBoom seemingly being a bit more particular about what they participate in and playing fewer matches kind of overall, and that does make a big difference. You know, if you can make that kind of upper bracket run, then you can kind of rest a little bit more, and you've got it means you've got less practice, so to speak, on some of the maps, but there is an advantage in that you're not kind of wearing yourselves out. And that's always a big, question mark for me. The fact that PARIVISION have played such a ridiculous amount of CS over the last 3 months, are they going to be exhausted? Are they going to come into this feeling fresh and ready? Or is it just going to be, a bit of a more stressful appearance? And just for that reason alone, I think that I'm definitely leaning a little bit more into the BetBoom camp.
Yeah, it's going to be a little on the fence here. Like, if I need to be a little devil's advocate here, PARIVISION, yes, they have been playing a lot, but I do kind of see sort of the progress that they've been making in the past couple of months and the results that it has been gaining. For example, if we're talking about other events that they are participating in, they did manage to qualify for the Star Ladder Star Series. That's going to be happening, I believe it's in like next month. And that's, for example, an event that BetBoom failed to qualify for, and it didn't really do that well. Then again, it's online qualifiers. A lot can happen in these types of events, but it is good to see that PARIVISION, so far, they do not seem to be worn out exactly, and the results are there on paper, and they're getting progressively better, I should say. But then again, I feel like, especially with this veto, it could be pretty much anyone's game.
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind, BetBoom recently beat out BC Game. We all know that that's Simple's new home territory. So on that basis alone, you know, I don't know what you want to infer from that. I find that entertaining as all hell. But what that actually says about the team, well, you can take that with a pinch of salt. I will also say, you know, looking at the Star Ladder series, when you look at the teams that BetBoom were coming up against, like, okay, sure, both of them came up against kind of the same teams, but these are very tough oppositions. And I think that part of that is, again, those growing pains when you've got this brand new roster. Not brand new, obviously, but you've got a couple of new players that you're busy still kind of onboarding. And that can make evident a few of those kind of cracks within the team standing. So again, you know, it's been a couple of weeks since then. Hopefully they've had some time to just iron that out a little bit and prepare themselves a little bit better for today.
Exactly. I mean, if you're, like, hypothetically speaking, of course, if you're, like, having roster changes, like, you have the choice. You could either go for a little bit more well-experienced players on the market already, or you could perhaps be going for a little bit more young blood in, you know, the case here of PARIVISION, who are getting in, for example, and Zilio, who are not as, you know, experienced with the tier 2 scene, but therefore maybe, you know, these are kind of like the diamonds in the rough that you can more easily shape, whereas maybe a bit more of an experienced player who's already sort of like set onto what he wants, what his play style is, maybe therefore that makes it a little bit harder to fit in with the rest of the squad.
Certainly a big question mark that does need to be considered as we head through this one. But of course, the proof is in the pudding, or as it goes, the proof is in the playing. I believe we've just had word from production that we need to throw this to a break, if I'm not mistaken. I think perhaps we've got some technical issues. So we'll try and get that ironed out as quickly as possible, and then we will come back as soon as we can.
All right, tech issues resolved, and Ancient is awaiting us here on this very first map of this best of 3 grand final. Now, we were already talking about how excited we are, but of course we want to know from you guys over at home as well. You guys are excited, so definitely let yourselves be known. Now, BetBoom against PARIVISION. We already dug deep into what we are expecting. Of course, coming up first with Ancient, this is going to be the map pick of PARIVISION. So what do you reckon? Do BetBoom go hot ablaze here, kicking the map right off? Or what do you think their playstyle is going to be like?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You know, just kind of from my experience from doing South America over the weekend, you know, we had 9Z versus Red Canids, and there was a lot of like running the clock down kind of vibe. And then we got into the grand final, and suddenly 9Z were like pedal to the metal, super fast, super like aggressive with their takes. So it really does come down to very often what you have planned for a particular opponent. And I know a lot of teams love that whole they love the play your own game buzz phrase, but very often there is a bit of counter stratting that does go into this that maybe teams don't want to admit. I don't know, maybe it seems a little bit not embarrassing, but like, you know, maybe it seems a bit weak to admit that you have counter-stratted another team. I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's really cool if you're able to do that, but we'll have to find out, right? It's difficult to tell. These two teams haven't actually played up against each other at all. So here we go. We dive into our first map of our grand final, and as we've said a couple of times, BetBoom versus PARIVISION on Ancient.
I mean, so far, PARIVISION is certainly going to be picking up the pace here on their T side. Going actually pretty fast, getting ready to take home B already. Bomb in hand, bomb planted, but is Magno just here with that very first frag, but an exchange in the midst of the site. So trying to hold off all the further reinforcements coming around the corner, and that is further kills on the end of BetBoom, and with that, a clean defuse coming right up.
All right, so nice, quick as you like, we get onto the site, and then unfortunately the site gets overrun with CTs. At least there was that bomb plant, so that little bit of extra cash available to take into the next round, and that's sometimes the best that you could hope for. Would have been nice to have maybe garnered an extra kill or two, but hey, you take what you can get sometimes. Really solid performance from BetBoom as well. I loved the kind of lurk play through cave as well, just to create that little bit of a pincer, and clearly PARIVISION were not expecting that at all. Bit of a weird scenario, but hey ho, off we go into the second round. And a hero AK picked up here for PARIVISION. High risk, high reward. See if that does pay off. They haven't really spent much anywhere else. They've upgraded pistol slightly, so they want to have money into the next round, but this AK is going to have to do a lot to make up for that investment.
So far, it's only the AK that has been spotted, so BetBoom's still left with the question mark whether it is just a hero AK or if it's a force all along. But Bolchonic is gonna keep the guns blazing, gonna march right up on the site once again. Ooh, the M4 is there. It is a second kill for Bolchonic, but the rest of his team is gone.
Oh, that's outrageous. I mean, they just stepped out onto the site and got mowed down from like 2 different angles. That's a bit of a misstep, it feels like. But unfortunately, part of that comes down to the fact that this was a bit of an... Oh, okay, don't worry about it. It was an eco round to an extent. Yes, they did buy into the 1 AK, but they didn't really have any other utility to speak of. So unfortunately, they didn't have anything to make that a more meaty attempt at an exec. 2 kills here is not terrible. You've done a little bit of damage. An extra one would be fantastic if possible. He's actually picked up onto an M4 here. So there is certainly a world where we can get one more. He's throwing them off the map. Oh my goodness, so cheeky. But there you go. Attempts to go for the bomb plant and does get shut down. AK not going to be recoverable for BetBoom, but ultimately it's PARIVISION with a second round that they can't close out. And crucially in this one, no bomb plant.
Yeah, a little bit of extra cash could have been helpful, maybe for or therefore to be able to at least afford something like an SMG. Now he has got to do it with a Tech 9. Does have Yuta on his back though to help out the rest of the squad. But let's see, we've had this very heavy, favorable B site so far. Very fast-paced action on the side of PARIVISION, but this time around, it's a little bit more split. Looks like a bit more of a default setup.
Interesting to me that BetBoom just kind of give up mid-control, but that's okay because Magnachez just pushes up out of long and gets 2 kills back to back, and at that point, oh my god, PARIVISION, the cracks in the armor have made themselves so abundantly evident here. Like, it's not even, they're barely even fighting back at this point, just giving them ones, not really using their utility. And now Jame, is it Jame time with an AK? Is that a thing?
Perhaps now it is. Yeah, this is a bit of a weird round, honestly, because on paper you have a good setup, but BetBoom is just in these corners where apparently PARIVISION is not expecting them at all to be in. So definitely not accounting for the close corners, thinking, you know, they're probably not gonna play as aggressive, but I guess PARIVISION now is getting punished for that.
And unfortunately, with this having been their rifle round, it means they go into the next round with, like, scant money. Sure, they've got a bit of a loss streak bonus going, so hopefully they'll still be able to kind of scrape something together, but it's by no means a good scenario, especially because in this round, sure, they've done a little bit of economic damage, but they're not getting enough done. They're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit here. There's so much money still available for BetBoom, and they can just kind of keep riding out this wave. And what PARIVISION really need at this point to give themselves something to springboard off of is a round win. Now, it looks like this is potentially going to be one of those like Tech 9 rounds. We could see a bit of a more aggressive push coming through here. And if they can convert this into a round win with the little bit of damage that they've done over the last few rounds, they'll put themselves in a really good standing. But if it goes awry again, if BetBoom come out of this cleanly, then chances of wresting back control dwindle.
Oh, I like this. Magnachez is actually going here for the SMG in comparison to the rifles. And I mean, his positioning was good, but the Tech 9 does his wonders, especially when it's in the hands of Zilio. Gets 2. The rest of the squad is now divided up in a bit of an awkward mix because his teammate has cleared A, but now he needs to get that bomb safely to that bomb site as well.
Certainly feels doable. I do love how they've inserted James into such a solid spot here, but... Oh, sorry, Jame. But is he actually going to be able to do anything with it? They have an inkling. They know. Beautiful shot there. A bomb plant will give them that teeny bit of money if Zelo can get 1 kill here. Just that little bit of something extra into the back pocket. But speaking of the back, he may yet get shot in the back. And yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Another... I mean, it's not the cleanest round in the world, but it's another round that BetBoom take all the way to the bank.
Yeah, you think maybe for a second there's a bit of a gap, considering, you know, they were able to once again plant that bomb. But it was already in a point of the round where PARIVISION has lost a lot of numbers. And already going, of course, into this with just Tech 9s, it made the scenario look a little bit more dire. Then again, you know, they did get a bomb plant out of this. It was a minimal investment. And now we've got almost a full buy back on the board. At least good enough to contest BetBoom. Orb as well here for Jame. First time. Time to see what he can do with that.
Jame with an AWP while Benchanok is running around with a MAC-10 is hectic. Look at the spear. Let's see if he can open up the site.
Well, everyone getting caught a bit with Yuto in the hands, still trying to play defensively, hoping that maybe this time they're not going to be as fast, but here they are, planting a bomb once again. Only now, it's very, very fast, and they account for the backside as well.
Finally, a much better push here from PARIVISION. I mean, this is to an extent their first real rifle round because they had like some weird economic stuff where on the second round they had the one hero AK, and then on the third round they were like down one AK. I suppose if you want to consider that a gun round, maybe, since they had 4 guns, but this is the first time that they came in with 5 pretty solid guns with an AWP as well. And well, once you put that in James' hands, things start to turn on their heads a little bit here. Very fast and aggressive push, good utility as well, just to kind of flush BetBoom off of their angles, flush them all the way back towards their own spawn, which gives them instant control of the site, and great work from the MAC-10 to get that opening kill, recover that gun, and shut down any attempt to re-aggress. That was exactly the kind of round that PARIVISION needed. And with how the economy has gone the last couple of rounds for BetBoom, this is a round where they come in with an MP9 and a FAMAS, so not ideal, and a loss here would break their economy entirely.
It does put a bit of pressure up on PARIVISION. Of course, you want to get a conversion because you're going to be putting all this effort in, and BetBoom can continue that win streak. It's going to be a bit of pill to swallow. Sure to spot it. Not quite lining up. The tension certainly is rising. 3 players already here on B on the BetBoom side. Frost does get taken out. Ooh, and Dylan does as well, getting caught on the edge of the smoke. Mendo just therefore forced to try and make something out of this defense. But it's just 2 players left alive. Make it. Oh, actually, no. Boomich actually won that fight. Has to play passively, waiting for his teammate potentially. But then again, oh, this is a rough. Siren falls, and that pretty much has, yeah, Boomich has to call it. Not worth going for this. $300 in the bank and a dream. Well, not quite going to happen. He's in fact going to get hunted down and not going to be escaping with that one alive.
He had a dream. And unfortunately, the dream is now dead. At least in that round. There is still a chance for recovery as the map goes on. But this has been great from PARIVISION. Those first few rounds were very messy. And again, I mean, you got to take a lot of things into consideration with how those rounds went. And again, I spoke about kind of the hero AK and then the lack of a 5th AK in the following round. And the utility usage was like very messy. But when they finally do get a proper buy in hand, that's when we start to see them kind of playing off of each other that little bit better, instantly going for that mid control, shutting down Boomich within moments. And just like that, player advantage and a lot of map control garnered. Yes, it is an anti-eco, but this is the kind of round that you want to be seeing from PARIVISION.
No room for error, lining up all the util. Trying to make it a bit easier for themselves. Not quite moving in, but taking it step by step. Clearing the corners. Now getting rushed though. Oh, by 2 pistols, and they make it worth a kill each. And with that, this is getting a bit tricky. There's an open and AK in the hands of BetBoom. Still a little bit of util as well. And suddenly we got a 3v3 on our hands.
Magnagez's positioning here could be instrumental, but oh no, he's allowed Beltronic to thread the needle and get into the back of the site. So now you have multiple angles to try and watch from. Magnagez misses the shot or gets a double, and what was looking like a potentially recoverable moment is snatched away. And unfortunately, Frost, not sure what's happening there. Seems a bit odd. Maybe just trying to go for some exits here. And completely denied. That was a nasty snap.
Oh, flying through the air. Well, I mean, at least the crisis avoided. It looked a bit scary for a second. And I guess it says a lot as well about the aim of BetBoom, because going in hot blazing with a couple pistols, landing the headshots, and therefore potentially almost granting yourself a bit of a lifeline in that round. Looked promising. But now with 3 rounds on the board for PARIVISION, their money is starting to stack up as well. And we're sort of, coming in this back and forth territory. Potentially. Oh, that's a very unfortunate miss shot. James should have had that, but unfortunately wasn't able to connect. I mean, Zilly also half HP. They are starting this round off with quite a disadvantage.
It'd be very difficult sometimes to get that shot as well, getting so up close and personal there. And that is a rough proponent to be losing here. And of course, with that noise being made, it's fairly evident that it's going to be a push in towards the B site, but beautiful attention splitter there. Dilladez completely misses that one, but Magnagez is there to follow it up. So now PARIVISION have made their way onto the site, but they've fallen like flies across the map, and somehow BetBoom, while so separate from one another, managed to line up these crossfires perfectly. A 3K in that round for Magnagez, and that's going to be BetBoom going up to 5. PARIVISION looking like they were starting to build some momentum, but just unable to maintain.
Yeah, not quite. At least their money isn't gone just yet. So they can afford a rebuy. They can try again. Now, similar to what we've seen a bit earlier, when they go sort of default, try to explore the map, try to take map control, seems like BetBoom is taking quite a proactive approach. It tends to shut them down quite early. So I wonder what PARIVISION is going to be making out of this one. Because again, they're taking it a bit slower. This time focusing a bit more on mid. 2 players down there.
It's weird to me how BetBoom, majority of their rounds, they really don't take much mid control. But for PARIVISION, they're not using mid at all. They kind of lay down some util to block it out, but they don't actually use it for anything. They just circumvent it entirely.
Oh, that's dirty. They lined up there. I mean, still get killed back though, but notice position there for compromise. Siren not able to connect. Does reposition. Is in a bit of an awkward spot. Needs the backup of his team. Ooh. He's able to get out of there alive, but only 7 HP on his back. Oh, we're going to try and boost over the smoke. Try to grant yourself some vision. Not quite connecting, though. Well, on the defuse they will go. Time will continue to tick, and actually they are just
no way. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that, again, crisis avoided.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I forget that wall is made out of paper, and so there's like a moment of panic, and then you realize, nope, they're just gonna spam through that wall. And to be fair, I've seen players spam through a smoke and not be able to connect, so it wouldn't be outside of the realm of possibility that shooting through the paper wall would also not connect in the way that you would want it to. But on this particular occasion, works out quite nicely for them, and they're able to hold down that post plant beautifully. These rounds are very scrappy. Neither one of these teams is getting like really clean rounds through, however, and that does leave a couple of concerns. Taking a look at the economy here, BetBoom's still going to be able to buy into this round, but another round lost is going to put them in a lot of danger. But if they do manage to pull this round through, then it's PARIVISION that are massively kind of on the back foot here, and there's only a small handful of rounds left in this half, so this is starting to feel a little bit like something of a swing round. Maybe not this round, but the next round could potentially be a little bit of a swing round here. PARIVISION should realistically win this one, and then BetBoom kind of have a red carpet all the way to 7-5 if they don't screw up. And so far, they're already managing to make some really good inroads to making this an expensive one and making it that much worse for PARIVISION.
And so aggressive, but Magnagez gets caught. Of course, kind of stuck there in that position. His teammate not quite able to help because of that smoke. Now, it has faded, but BetBoom are just pistols so far apart. Gonna have to hope for a miracle here.
It's crazy to me how much they've slowed down. But I do understand it. You know, you're at a round deficit. You don't want to give away the game unnecessarily, and they've already lost more players than I think they would have wanted to in this pistol round. So low and slow, keep it nice and safe. Bomb planted, Art Frost, last one left alive. And again, he's going to try to go for some exits. We've seen him in this position before. Unfortunately, the exact same ending. It was all that got him the previous time, and it's all that gets him this time as well. But PARIVISION bring it up to 5. And now this is kind of last chance saloon for BetBoom to make something happen and snag a bit of a stronger positioning before the half.
Ideally, you want to get as close as you can. So far, it's pretty 50-50. You have your PARIVISION, this being your map pick. You want to end as strong as you potentially can, but looks like Dilladis has other plans. 2 kills down, hoping for even more. Util flying their way, and it's doing wonders for BetBoom. 3k already here for Dilladis, and look, he's just standing out in the open. He's like, come on, I want more kills. Please give them to me. And, that's number 4.
Bro really said fight me, and somebody actually went and did it. That's kind of crazy.
Yep.
Just walking straight through a smoke, completely dry.
Why not? Okay, well, the green got to the better of him, but
I don't think he's gonna get much more down here. Let's be real. That would have been entertaining, but not to be. And this is what I was saying, right? So you come into this round and there's a bit of a red carpet for BetBoom to go all the way to 7. That being said, PARIVISION have managed to maintain some semblance of economic stability. So they'll at least still come into this round with a pretty decent buy. You know, utility slightly lacking, but it honestly could be so much worse. So they'll still be feeling pretty comfortable with what they have into this round, but it's going to need to be fairly flawless. You want to make sure that you go in at an even kilter, because while a 2-round deficit isn't the end of the world, it's not what you want.
already a lot of duels happening. So far ending up in BetBoom's favor. Again, PARIVISION wanting to go mid. You know, maybe listening to your advice a little bit, but it's not being granted for free. Therefore, they are once again pivoting in towards this B-bomb site. And it really does feel like sort of like the same tape being played over and over again. I don't really see too much of a variety for PARIVISION, but maybe one kill is all you need. At least the site opened up. Util is in place, but going to be forced to go through. Really wanting to make that final round of the half work. Not quite working out just yet, and Artfrost missing as well. Not quite lining up the way they want to, and the time will continue to tick. Hello. Still awaiting on the side. Yes, he will get killed, but the timer is almost done, and all will finish it off. It's a tie here in the very first half. All right, 6-6 currently here, the scoreline between PARIVISION and BetBoom. I mean, BetBoom off to a good start. PARIVISION made it close there at the very, very end. And of course, this is ideally what they want. This is their map pick, but it hasn't been quite the flawlessness that we would like to see from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this has been a relatively messy affair. And you were saying it in the green room. You're not wrong. It's felt a bit like a Go B simulator. The A site does not exist. And if we close our eyes and pretend that it's not there, then it's not there.
I mean, maybe this is just a wingman map with just one bomb site.
Lord, imagine. Yeah, things are a bit weird, but we'll see now that we've swapped sides. BetBoom get to mount a T side of their own, and perhaps they'll be aware that the A side exists. For the moment, it seems they're aware that mid exists, so that's good.
I mean, not quite as contested, but actually, they do leave it alone. BetBoom they will go for this. It seems to be a 5-man push down once again. What else? B side. But got Yuta on the backs, trying to get at least rid of a couple of corners, make it a bit easier for themselves. But counter flushes do its work too, granting a bit of space here for PARIVISION to take upon the side themselves, tagging a lot of players in the process. But BetBoom, objective 1 has been done. That bomb at least is planted.
Now we got a 2v3 hold the line. Without kits, it's just about buying time for as long as possible. But with so many players still alive here for PARIVISION, it's that much more difficult to make that work. And unfortunately, with the numbers advantage, the retake is fairly easy. Wham bam, quick as you like. And that's going to be a second pistol round for PARIVISION. I'm not tripping, right?
No, actually, no. BetBoom won the first. Right.
Maybe I am tripping.
It was BetBoom first with 3 rounds, and then PARIVISION got back with 3 of their own.
That's right. That's right. Okay, well, one for
back
one.
and forth action.
Yeah. Love that. Can we keep that up? That's the question.
I mean, BetBoom certainly on the back of that bomb plant. Gonna be going for a buy here. Trying to get the momentum back on their side as quick as they can. And would you look at that? It looks like A does exist after all. 4 men strong. Keeping a lurker in the form of Boomich, trying to gather information across the map. While the rest of the team is going out. And so far, so good. It's a lovely shot from Art Frost. Really picking up the pace now. And sure, damage dealt, but all 5 are still standing.
Not a great position there from Nota. Well, position was good, but shots just fired off into who knows where. Those bullets just went everywhere but onto their target. He gets instantly traded out. And what interest is... So we had something similar in the previous half where... Unfortunately, there was no bomb planted, so they came with the 1 hero AK. This time around, because of that bomb plant, BetBoom are in a much better scenario. So they can buy through a lot of these rifles. They've got so much more to work with. And crucially, they go to the site that PARIVISION didn't seem to be aware of, its existence in the entirety of that first half. So perhaps catching them off guard a little bit. And again, I mean, the opening Deeg shot was kind of ridiculous just in and of itself. And then the follow-up onto Nota, who just couldn't even get 1 kill with that spray. And at that point, there is no sense in trying to go for it again. You're going to lose way too many guns. Your economy is already an absolute mess because you've hit an economic reset. So what should have been a really robust bonus is in fact a forced reinvestment. So 4 MP9s here. But at least there's potential to farm up some cash.
In an ultimate dream scenario, PARIVISION are hoping to once again steal away the win, but it certainly is not going to be easy. Not a whole lot of util on their backs as well to try and sort of account for pushes. It's got to be very, very passive. Maybe mid open because of that. And that is therefore a lot of breathing ground for BetBoom to play with. And already quite up close here on B. But I'm still yet to be taken over. But BetBoom take the time.
So we've got quite a bit of time to work with as well. So made a lot of noise over towards B here, but there you go. There's that potential for that pivot with so many reinforcements over on the B side. And they're not 100% aware of that, but they should have an inkling. Obviously, A side is the usual weak side, but this is a good response from PARIVISION. You know, with all that utility coming through, nothing following up, they have an idea that that's probably a load of nonsense. And then, okay, smoke and a flash comes out. We're still not buying it. So there's already heavy reinforcements over towards A.
Oh, sitting anti-flash. At least position noted. Kill at least found, but not before James took out 2 of his own. But, okay, fire straight back at it, but not quite for all. Trying to come in. Guns are blazing with that MP9, now having to tuck himself into the site, waiting for his teammate, who's going to be doing a little bit of distraction work. Not quite enough for all to get the kill. So 1v1. Oh, no, the time! There's only 4 seconds left, and he realized it too late. That he couldn't go for the fight anymore. And Zilla with that, good job, because, you know, he went to hide right at the perfect timing. And with that, PARIVISION taking home the round.
That was really, really good, like, reading from PARIVISION. You know, there's so much utility that gets thrown early on, and they're like, but then there's literally 0 follow-up. And even with the 1 smoke and flash that does come out, it's like, that seems low effort. And understandably so. You don't want to be throwing out ridiculous amounts of utility necessarily to sell a fake. The problem was that the time window had slipped away from them. You know, they'd thrown out a decent amount of utility at the start of the round. That was the time to make that change. Or for, you know, maybe that should have been the idea from the start, to have already had the bomb kind of postured towards that A site. But ultimately, time just wasn't on their side. And PARIVISION, the rotation over from B was perfect. James setting up that crossfire, so the moment that BetBoom start pushing out of Donut, they're not checking necessarily for that CT spawn positioning or like the direction, because they're hoping that their fake has sold it and that they can get onto the A site relatively for free.
Oh, all right. Veto just going in very, very fast here. Actually gonna be tucking himself into smoke. Oh, ideas certainly are there. All right, well, that certainly is going to be giving away the push, but with that, Nota is very much forced to fall very far back, giving a lot of space up for BetBoom now to work with, and it's a lot of pressure up on the end for PARIVISION. It kind of splits the 2 sides up, and mid completely open.
They've finally taken this mid control, and not only that, but they've inserted Siren all the way up into Red Room. So if there's any attempt at a rotation here, they should be able to lock it down. However, there's still so many fights that need to be fought on a variety of fronts.
The only downside here is 3 players on the side of BetBoom are about half HP or lower. So it's just a slight advantage still in favor of PARIVISION, but when it comes down to numbers game, PARIVISION, oh, they don't like sitting still, and with that, Siren is granted 3 kills. 3 players sent to rotate in to try and have a look, but it's not quite working out for them, meaning the last 2 CTs split up, completely defenseless. And it's only Belchonic left alive. He's good for 2 kills already. Can he find more? I mean, the bank is very low, so he's going to just try and escape with the AK. All right. So far, so good.
Okay, a bit of a questionable end to that round. I mean, so I spoke about inserting Siren, and I love that it just pays off almost instantly. I do think it's a little egregious that he gets all 3 there. Probably should have been traded out at some point, but whatever. We take what we can get. Then the fact that we have 3 players dying to Bolchonok, who at the start of that has a FAMAS, that nets him the first couple of kills. And yes, low HP is a massive contributing factor, but then picks up a rifle and gets a 3rd as well. So this becomes a very expensive round for BetBoom. Yes, they do win it, but again, they're going to have to reinvest into the next round. And the amount of cash that they have, it's enough. They'll still come into it, but that momentum shifter, you know, the attempt to build up long-term economy kind of gets stopped there. 8-8 now, an evened out scoreline. And again, PARIVISION going for this very interesting hero rifle setup.
Yeah, there's someone on CT side, of course, with that 1 AK transferred over. I can understand why the money not being great, maybe not wanting to go for sort of this half buy and let it all go to waste again. And then, you know, suddenly before you know it, you're sort of in this end stage of this very first map when you're on map pick and they want to avoid that scenario. Try to maybe just generate as much cash as they can in this particular round.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's rough.
Listen, that AK is such bad luck. It is the worst luck imaginable. But Beltronic starts with it in his hands. Instantly, he's the first one to die. Then I believe it was Zialo that picks it up. Instantly gets his head lobbed off. Then it gets picked up by Nota. 2 seconds later, his head is taken off. Like, that... You know what? It was a recovered rifle, but it was cursed. It, you know, still belonged to its previous master. And unfortunately, the pins fall. And BetBoom will take a lead here. 9-8. They're starting to maybe look a little bit stressful. That being said, it is only a 1-round deficit, and now PARIVISION should have money, so they'll actually be able to buy in properly. There you go. Fairly clean round. I was talking in the first half about how it was really scrappy. We're starting to actually see some relatively clean rounds now, which is a good sign.
Especially in the late stage of this game. Because, you know, the more money you are able to save, the more wiggle room you still got left for errors that potentially are to come. To grant yourself at least a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, let's wait and see what is the approach going to be. So far we've seen aggressive mid pushes and, well, PARIVISION want one of their own. Not quite coming into affair because once again it is Siren that is shining up on mid.
How he's still good for one there, I will never understand. Hello?
Okay, well, yeah, just why not? Why not do that?
So funny. The worst part is that PARIVISION, off the back of that round where Siren gets all the way up into Red Room and just kills 3 of them, they reinforce Red Room, and Siren still gets 3 kills towards mid.
Yeah.
Okay, the first 2 are like down towards Donut. He gets into position, and then he gets the 3rd in Red Room before he's traded out. Like, Siren and Red Room seems like a very dangerous duo.
Yeah. I mean, Siren as well, because his position was known. He made quite a bit of noise when walking up towards Red Room. So, you would think, with all that information, you should be able to account for him, but the answer is no. Still good for 1, which is so awkward. You know, them coming up with 2, and then boom, it's just like, oh wait, hello.
Slow motion on that as well. Beautiful.
Yeah. So double digits secured now for BetBoom, and the money is in shambles for PARIVISION. It's a very awkward buy. We've got some pistols, kind of to try and make something. Again, a hero AK, but Jabe already tagged with a very nasty nade. Once again, BetBoom hoping to try and exit mid this time. It's a bit trickier. It's quite a bit of pressure left and right. I mean, if you're BetBoom, we've seen them being able to make rounds like these pretty clean. I think that is the ultimate goal here.
Definitely expecting Siren to attempt to pull off some shenanigans here. It's good conditioning off the back of 2 rounds. Ooh, Jame! It's unrecoverable though, which is devastating.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I mean, I guess the only positive side is a bit of extra cash generated. 2 extra kills in the bank. Now 2 pistols. There's a nade and a smoke. To maybe try and find a gap. Open the side up a little bit, but all falls already. And so does Cilio. So yeah, BetBoom certainly got the momentum now going on their side, and I see them play relatively relaxed. You know, they're confident taking middle. And as far as playstyle goes, this is what you like to see.
Yeah.
PARIVISION, so certainly, they don't really know yet how to deal with it, but the problem is we're sort of almost at the end of this map.
Yeah, I certainly believe that exhaustion is a factor here. But it's hard to know for 100% certain. I think the 1 AK does way more than I thought it would in that previous round. So that extra little bit done certainly helps. James able to pull out an AWP into this round, so has that available to try and leverage this into a more contestable scenario. BetBoom not opting to gamble with a T-sided AWP. It's so difficult to get like consistent results when you're trying to AWP on the T side. It's not impossible, obviously, but it's that much harder. We'll see now. James had some solid moments with the AWP, even on that T side. But it's going to take some heroics now to bring them back into contention. Losing this round will not only break their economy, but it will also put them on map point.
Oh, just ate that nade. They wanted to peek. There's all these little things that BetBoom are currently doing, trying to apply pressure. Cilio hoping for a little bit of his own, but not quite going to be scaring BetBoom just yet. In fact, it almost looked like Cilio himself was a bit more scared to duck back right in, get back into safety, not stay out too long. Because it is dangerous out there. BetBoom are hungry for a map upset. Lurking around the corner. Right, picking up the pace. 40 seconds left on the clock, and the setup certainly is there. Only one Epton McNojez who is going to be lurking.
Yeah. This is interesting. I wonder if he's going to spot out the donut player. If he spots out James. Oh, James going to spot him. Oh my god, he sold it.
No, wait. No way.
No, he hasn't fully sold it.
Well, not quite, but it is getting very awkward. There's 3 players that die in the blink of an eye. Nota trying to account for the flank, but not quite working out. It's just James. James now with an AWP. And I mean, in classic James fashion, yeah, you would say go and save, but then again, there is so little here to work with. Maybe you're granted an exit, but BetBoom are smarter than that.
What a wild round, man. Like 2 pieces of utility and instantly they pull a rotation over and it's almost 2 players. Like there's a second player heading towards the CT spawn and that's kind of when they realize, hang on, that doesn't seem right. And by that point, it's actually too late. And the exec has started. And off of something so small, they've managed to kind of whittle through the defensive line on that B site and make it way more doable than it realistically had any right to be. Map point now for BetBoom. Reminder, this is PARIVISION's map pick, so not the best way to kick off this series. PARIVISION still have some money into this round, but not much. The investment into that AWP certainly left them with far less to work with. It was a bit of a gamble just in and of itself. But now 2 FAMASas. It's not terrible. It's certainly doable. The big issue here is the lack of utility.
There's already quite a bit used here early on in the round. Oh, McNojez I mean, if it's not Siren, maybe someone else will do the trick. Trying to push. Oh, not quite connecting. And with that, Zilio has come with reinforcements. I guess Siren does need to do the job because he does eventually manage to get the trade. And player advantage here for BetBoom. Still wondering where to go. All four of them are sort of stuck in the second part of middle. Trying to wait for a push. And it's granted. Okay, there we go. Does come through. But with that, certainly there has to be a lot of information. So what do PARIVISION do with that? James is eager to try and push. Nope, not going to be granted that opportunity at all. Get shut down, and it's just all that is left standing.
This is an almost insurmountable there you go. Insurmountable indeed. Siren, you know what? It was Siren in the red room with the AK. That's my Cluedo guess. Just outrageous performance from him when he actually did have that positioning. I will say it felt like a very amateurish like lack of confidence from PARIVISION. I was actually very surprised. I mean, this is a seasoned team with some veteran talent, and they really were kind of all over the place. It didn't feel like they had a clear idea of what they wanted to be doing from round to round. And on the flip side, BetBoom looked okay. First half was very messy on both sides. We can't deny that at all. But in the second half, it certainly felt like on that T side, they had a bit more control, had a bit more dynamism, a little bit more unpredictable, but still very much in control from round to round. And that's unfortunate because, I mean, BetBoom came into that, they won one round in the entirety of the second half. It really was just the BetBoom show.
Yeah, it just felt like, PARIVISION picking into this, you're expecting a team to sort of know what they're doing, know their strategies, when to pull what out of the bag, but it kind of felt like one note throughout most of this map. Especially that first half already, the tone was being set to, as we were saying, it was sort of be simulated, it felt flat, and the second half kind of transcended that as well with, not quite the punch that they needed.
Well, a very unfortunate start here for PARIVISION losing on their map pick. We're going to be throwing things to a quick break, folks. When we return, we move on to BetBoom's map pick of Train. Velas and I are incredibly excited for that. We hope you are too, and we'll see you after this.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Challenger League, very first Cup Grand Final. We've got BetBoom still going on versus PARIVISION. So far, BetBoom up with one map, and that was quite the upset up against PARIVISION because it was PARIVISION's map pick. And now up next, it will be BetBoom's map pick of Train. Now, all the way back at the beginning of the show, we were talking about Train is sort of 50-50. Both teams have played equal amount of times recently this particular map. But coming off of that very first map, where does your stance lie, Sam?
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned for PARIVISION. Again, obviously with that having been their map pick and just how uncertain they looked in a lot of scenarios across that entirety, particularly that second half. It does raise a lot of questions for what this next map is going to look like. And Train by no means is a walkover of a map. You really do need to, every map you need to know what you're doing, right? But it's kind of newer in the pool and teams are just starting to get used to it and feel comfortable on it. So to be coming into this with less than kind of 100%, you're definitely going to be at a massive deficit. And again, with this being BetBoom's map pick, you are expecting them to have some sort of an upper hand in this one. So I'm a little bit concerned here, but I have been proven wrong before, and I'm always happy to see teams trade map picks because that's entertaining as all hell, and it throws all of our predictions out the window. So yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, at the beginning of the day, we were thinking, this could be a close game. These two teams are sort of quite in the same league. Bit of, old blood, young blood. Both had roster change around the same time, equal amount of time to kind of get back into the new climate a bit. But yeah, I was a bit surprised with PARIVISION not quite showing up and not really having as much of a game plan as I would like to see. Pretty much running similar strategies almost every single round, not taking advantage of certain areas of the map. And therefore, BetBoom was able to punish a lot of the times. It was a bit awkward sometimes even to see. But then again, they've had a break, time to regroup, get all the heads facing in the same direction, and from here can only go upwards for PARIVISION.
Yeah, time to lock in. Also, you say that. It could very much go downhill. That is.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
I tend to be the optimist, though. So I hope that isn't going to be the case. I'd like to see them put up a little bit more of a fight here. I have, however, had the pleasure of casting BetBoom on Train earlier this year. I can't remember if it was like one of the EPL qualifiers or I can't remember exactly what it was. But I did get to see them compete on it. And obviously that was quite a few months ago. So that was before some of the roster changes came through. But they looked pretty good on it. And if that's any sort of an indication, then I definitely think that PARIVISION are going to be in a little bit of trouble coming into this one. Certainly going to be a bit of an uphill climb for them. They do get to start on that CT side, and that's definitely something that they'll be able to leverage for themselves. I think that you can really get a lot of momentum going for yourself if you can build up a nice number of rounds before we kind of swap sides. And of course, that's true of most maps and whatever. But Train in particular, I feel like there are a lot of opportunities to hold on to that momentum if you can get a good run going on that CT side. So that's where it's really going to start for me, and we'll see if that does in fact come to fruition here. Still got a full map ahead of us, so can't count our chickens just yet.
Yeah, on paper, ideally you want to start up on that CT side, get things going, but over on the previous map, it was sort of the CT side that made me almost worry a bit. We talk about not quite the game plan being there on their T side and the ideas sort of being the same, but up on CTs, really when things started to get awry and BetBoom could just kind of walk away with it. So it does make me wonder how that CT side, if that same playstyle, if we're going to be seeing that over here on Train, I think they're going to be in maybe even greater trouble on a map like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to really call, particularly because obviously they are pretty different in terms of, you know, the map itself. There's a lot of like variance between the two of them. But I think that your concerns are valid when, again, we point out the fact that it was PARIVISION's map pick. So you're expecting them to be doing well on it. You're expecting them to be prepared and have game plans and have, you know, strategies in place and be ready for whatever gets thrown at them. Now we move on to Train. It's a map that, as we've said, they haven't played a whole hell of a lot on. And to be fair, neither have BetBoom. But with it being BetBoom's pick, you know that they will have something in place. And for PARIVISION, you know, maybe they weren't necessarily expecting to be running into this today. There's every possibility that they're not as prepared as we'd like to think that they will be. So I think those concerns are certainly valid. I myself am, feeling that same kind of like, what's going to happen now? But hopefully we'll find out very, very shortly.
I mean, it looks like we are in the server, so the wait is almost over. So let's analyze what have they all invested into. A bit of util on the side of BetBoom, not too much, but something that I always like to see is a lovely dual pair of dualies. Both Nota and Zillia try to get an aggression in. So far, though, I see two players already going up on Pop Dog trying to get behind. So far, though, BetBoom is just gonna run and gun, try and get that bomb down as fast as they can. But the CTs are already swarming, ready for action.
Bomb has been planted.
Oh, already spotted, and the dualies do make it work. Bit tricky there, trying to get the head aligned, but at the end of the day, PARIVISION, of course, already had those numbers in advantage as soon as that bomb went down. So that in itself sort of, I guess, sort of solidified here that push. A lot more confident. And I really don't know where it went wrong in the beginning, because BetBoom, you know, they're similar to what we saw on the previous map. They tried to go in real fast, but this time PARIVISION maybe even faster.
Yeah, sometimes it's that kind of element of surprise that can really help you out. And again, I mean, we're talking about how strong the CT side is here, and definitely leaning into that little bit more. Bomb planted does mean that BetBoom could go for something crazy. They did it on Ancient when they lost the pistol round. They forced up and they came through with some very strong weaponry. This time around, however, not going for that. Instead, going for upgraded pistols. So, interesting decision there. Kind of a change up from what we'd seen previously. And again, it kind of speaks to, you know, different maps, different approaches, different ways of thinking about it. Ooh, nice little swing there. Both of them survive with their lives, but they have isolated where the AWP is. Second round AWP, by the way. That is insane. But when it's a player like Jame, well, I suppose it does make sense. He had a few uncharacteristic misses on the previous map, though. We'll see if he can make up for that on this map.
A lot more of a slower approach here. Everyone's just holding their ground. Of course, BetBoom being the team who needs to push in first. Hoping maybe they're granted a gift. But nothing comes for free. They need to put in the effort. Jay holding the angle. Ooh, good for a tag. Not quite the kill just yet. And now James himself is only 3 HP, still alive and kicking. But that bomb is planted. Still in a bit of a weird spot. BetBoom technically could do a little bit more damage. Not quite though. Biltronic and Jay, both the low players, able to get rid of those two pistols. And now it is only Art Frost and... I mean, he's sitting tight. He knows he's going to get hunted down, but in fact, it only will grant Nota a little bit more extra cash. So that's in the bank. It's actually a clean round coming through for PARIVISION, and that's a nice follow-up of that pistol.
Yeah, let's be honest, none of us were really expecting for that to be a round win for BetBoom. So contacting up a little bit, getting up close and personal, managing to get that bomb planted before they can be spotted out. Huge advantage to them, not in the round in terms of being able to win it, but just having that extra little bit of cash that they'll be able to take into the next round. That's huge. Now, okay, there was like a second when I didn't realize that Art Frost was doubled, and I was like, there is no way that they're pulling out double orbs. And on the T side, nah. Okay, no. Just a slight player disconnect there. Do not be fooled by what you see on your screens before. You will get that sorted out as quickly as possible. But yeah, I don't hate what the idea was there, right? It's all about getting that bomb planted. They know that there's no way that they're winning that one. So just do what you can and go from there.
There we go. That looks a lot better. Oh, time to reset everything. But we do got everyone back in the server. Old Frost back with the orb in hand. Jame one on his end. Time to see what they can make out of this. Of course, last round was only sort of, matter of formality. But now it is time for BetBoom to really set themselves up on the board. Try to see if they can break this early momentum on the side of PARIVISION. So far, I mean, a bit of a warning shot. They know that ARP certainly is now in play. And how will PARIVISION adapt? Well, this is a bit awkward. Not sure if Nota spotted. I guess the answer is not. But a trade does come through, and Boljonic actually finds a follow-up as well.
That's going to make things a little bit more difficult here for BetBoom. They've got such an advanced position down Ivy, though. Like, the potential for a pincer is massive, but he could get wrapped on. Oh, my goodness. Timing is going to be everything here. The walk-up smoke is huge. It allows him to slip away and get himself into a better position as the bomb's now going to start making its way in towards that A side. This is where they're looking to plant. Bomb thrown down. Just a little bit of clearance there. We can get that plant. They've bought themselves a bit of time to get into slightly better positions to hold some better angles. Oh, and they hold the line.
Lots of info. This is going to be enough eventually, yes. Cilio does grab that very first kill, and now all three have been found. Just a matter of sweeping the side, checking the corners. Bit of util help there as well, especially that nade, trying to chip away a bit of HP. And at the end, of course, already an early lead secured with that PARIVISION granted. Slightly advantage there in that retake. And sure, BetBoom consecutively is able to get that bomb planted, but it's not going to be enough yet to squeeze in another full buy. So probably just going to be some pistols, slight upgrades, but not going to be a whole lot.
I mean, this is concerning because we talk about, at the very least getting that bomb planted, but 3 rounds in a row, sure, you get the bomb down, but post plants have just been utterly lackluster. We need to see a little bit more out of that. Now onto a bit more of a rushy style of buy. Those Tech 9s ready to potentially make some noise. Look what the bomb is. The bomb is like out towards Ivy. And the thing is here, it could be interesting, but if Dilatez dies here, that's the round.
Right, Incendiary to buy PARIVISION a bit of extra time. Follow up now. But in fact, that smoke, gives a full sense of security as Jame is ready with the angle with the orb. And I mean, they're trying to creep on through, and Jame certainly is aware. Is trying to escape, does manage to do so. And now that means it is on the back of the side, trying to sort of go back and forth. Some of these pistols do sneak in quite a bit of damage. 2 kills now. But the bomb is already on the other end of the map in a very tough spot to recover.
Honestly, I appreciate what they were attempting. They send like almost the entirety of their team over towards B with like Tech 9s and Deagles and whatever. Throw out some of that utility, make it look like it's going to be a Tech 9 rush. But they don't commit fully to the bit. PARIVISION are not willing to fall for it. They keep reinforcements. And to be fair, Dillides actually threads the needle a little bit, manages to get through A main and in towards the site, but there's still two players from PARIVISION on the A site waiting. So the idea was decent, but the execution unfortunately just did not come to fruition. And that time, not even the bomb plant. Nothing garnered for them. So in this round, very limited in what they bring to the table.
It's Akers and Util. I mean, it could be worse. But there's certainly a lot of pressure right now on BetBoom to try and get this T-side going. I mean, they do get something, you know, a couple kills here and there. It's not enough, and they tend to start with a disadvantage into the round, making it harder, well, to keep yourself standing post-plant. And already here, heavy on this A defense. Sitting close around the corner. Deep smoke to help with that. Ooh, Mango Jazz, okay, is already tagged very, very heavily and is gonna bail right out of there. There comes the Util lineup, trying to execute onto the side. No, too good for two already, and is still standing, hopes for more, and is granted one there in the very end. And already again, player advantage, and Magno Jez, you know, you just breathe upon him and he is gone. Jane will finish him off with the York, and it's just Art Frost who needs a big hero play and is not able to do it. He's getting swarmed once again. And I feel these last couple of rounds feel like a bit of rinse and repeat, where they tried to set foot on the site. The Util is there, but they're not accounting for these close corners. Plus, you know, no one there to trade. Nota was able to get 3 kills there.
Yeah, it's certainly feeling like deja vu, but in the wrong direction. This time around, it's looking like PARIVISION are so much more in control, and BetBoom are really struggling. Like you said, the Util is there, but the follow-up is lackluster, and PARIVISION have done very well to dodge a lot of that. To, you know, they're playing anti really well. They're in positions where mollies aren't massively inconveniencing them. And let's be fair, like, while there is a decent amount of utility from BetBoom, I'm feeling like it's not as good as it needs to be. And a lot of that, again, comes down to that follow-up and the fact that you're throwing stuff out, but you know, where's the next steps? Where's the, you know, whatever happens next? Now it looks like we're gonna, oh my god, we're doing the same thing again, except this time the bomb is not with Dillides.
Oh, wow, okay. I mean, that is one hell of an opener. And potentially, you know, an orb there on the horizon. Looks like Frost is going to be the one picking that one up. And suddenly you've got 3 weapons on board and already a player taken out of the equation. So this could very well be a scenario where BetBoom get their very first round up on the board. But again, nothing comes for free. But it's really how do they approach the round from this point forward. Where did it go? So far, keep getting stalled. Fast pace. And they will go. And again, it's this Util that is being deployed, giving it all away. Noda once more in a very close angle, not accounted for. Maybe just Art Frost. And it's, again, a rinse and repeat with 3 players alive versus Art Frost as that last player remaining. Very, yeah, tough scenario, because right now PARIVISION is already up on 6. Potentially leading that half very, very soon, and BetBoom still yet to get something done in this map.
They got guns again now, so surely this is such limited utility again. And it really has kind of felt like them running against that same wall. Funnily enough, it's exactly what we saw on Ancient, but this time it's not PARIVISION that keep running their heads against the same wall. It's BetBoom. We're not seeing the same kind of dynamism that we saw before. Okay, this is a slightly different round, so perhaps this could net them slightly better results. But PARIVISION, it feels like have had such good reads on BetBoom's approaches every single round.
And the util advantage as well, you know, trying to delay them any further. Giving BetBoom only sort of one option as to where to execute into and what scenario to try out. Now, Arthur's taken out of the round pretty early on. Dylan is hoping for a way back into things, and so far so good. Magno just finds a follow-up, but so does James, keeping the numbers even.
How we found ourselves in this position again, 1vx. Somebody has to come up massive, and unfortunately, it's just completely denied. This is actually really reminiscent to Ancient, that first half, in how scrappy it is, because we don't have a ton of like really clean rounds, maybe in the anti-ecos, but aside from that, you know, as soon as there's some decent weaponry on board, it goes very back and forth. It's super scrappy. But ultimately, BetBoom find themselves in a player disadvantage and are unable to clutch out. And I mean, in a 1vx, it's always going to be a tough ask. So this is really, really tough for them, and I'm not sure what the answer is at this point. You know, does it come down to just isolating those duels a little bit better, shutting down those sight lines a little bit better? You know, we're seeing some decent smokes and so on come through here, but we talked about the follow-up. We talked about, you know, making that space. So perhaps they need to rethink how they're taking that space. You know, a great example is we see them kind of pushing down Ivy as a stack, but then they just kind of run across the opening. A lot of that util went onto site, but there was nothing really to enable them for their reposition. And so a lot of information is given over. Sure, you maybe make it through, two of your players manage to cross there without getting, you know, be unscathed, but you've given over the information of how many players are there. You know, you want to be able to cover yourself that little bit better, and maybe this is where BetBoom are struggling. Now, as we head into the 8th round, it is another broken scenario in terms of weaponry, and another round lost here. BetBoom might not have much of a chance in that second half.
No, this is where things really start to get scary. At least in comparison to the very first map, half one, pretty close, 6-6 half. And even though BetBoom had a strong start, PARIVISION at least was able to bridge the gap, stay within contesting range. But so far, the same can't quite be set for BetBoom. And they're really struggling to find a formula to try and win a round. Bolchonic eventually accounted for. Cilio now with a follow-up as well. And once again, it is just these pistols, but they just hope that maybe something can squeeze on through. Mirage has found a rifle, but once more, it is a 1v3 scenario, and he is being taken out of the round. I mean, PARIVISION, this is clean stuff, but on the other side, it's also BetBoom not quite being able to give it all in the way we've seen on that previous map.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I didn't expect too much to come out of that round. The fact that they do as much damage as they do could be considered somewhat of a win, but we're at a point now where it honestly doesn't make any sort of a difference. 4 rounds left, and they are needed at a bare minimum here for BetBoom if they want to stand a chance in that second half. So really going to need to tighten up a little bit as we head into these last few rounds. And again, it's a round where they have just strung something together, just managed to get some money out and get a robust buy, but they're being pincered in on. Nobody's expecting JM coming from behind. Only one player had taken the exploratory mission. Ivy is now completely shut down, and they have to rethink their entire strategy.
Right, squad seems to be gathering up here towards B. Then again, PARIVISION, so far, majority of the squad is there on A. So, perhaps when it comes down to numbers, BetBoom could choose the right side. And the gamble might pay off. Then again, they have very little awareness as to where PARIVISION is set. It will only take a couple of seconds and rotations should be around the corner. Alright, Util is gonna get deployed. Not a whole lot left here for BetBoom, but it is something here to try and work with. Now, you've got 15 seconds to clear the site. And the CTs, I mean, there's slowly reinforcements coming in the back, but not enough to at least stop that bomb plan. But it is the numbers game after all. Nota and Beljonok, they do the heavy lifting. It's only Art Frost in a scenario we've seen so many times before. Up in hand, not quite hitting the shot. Maybe close range will do so. One, that is all he will get. But it is PARIVISION with another round on the board.
This is insane. Like, thinking back to the previous map, how we got here, really tough to think about, to even consider. I mean, it's a little bit nuts. But 9 consecutive rounds for PARIVISION on their CT side. BetBoom have continued to kind of force in, and off the back of that, sure, they'll still be able to eke something out into this round, but losing this will leave PARIVISION on double digits, and we're seeing them try different things. They are attempting to be dynamic in their approaches, but again, PARIVISION just seem to have the read. I mean, look at this. PARIVISION now going for a much more aggressive position than what we'd seen in some of our previous rounds, so this could be utterly unexpected by BetBoom.
Slowly but surely. Again, lining themselves up for a similar scenario. Gonna be coming out. Voltronic this time sitting deep, tugged in under the ladder. Good for 2. And eventually there is a trade. But this is... it's so rough because once again, yeah, they get their bomb planted, but not before they lose another member of the team. The numbers get more dire and they get squished upon the side. There is nowhere for them to escape to. And with that, we just keep it going.
Around and around we go. Except that this merry-go-round has 1 speed. There is no surprise. It's all PARIVISION all the way. 2 rounds remaining. I'll be honest, I'm a little flabbergasted. I was saying that, like, it's always entertaining for me when teams, you know, trade map picks. And I was ready for that scenario, but I was not ready for the fashion in which it's being presented to us, right? A potential 12-0 half. We could be staring down the barrel of a 13-0. There is a world in which that happens. BetBoom again having to force into this round, but losing this is going to set them back massively into that next round. I've kept saying it round after round, but the miracle needs to happen. Something has got to give in these next 2 rounds.
And earlier you were mentioning, you know, the lack of utility is really making things difficult for BetBoom. I mean, 2 kills coming right in. I can expect BetBoom to try and see if they can pick up the pace. Then again, not a lot of utility there to help keep the coast clear. But at least with 1 more follow-up, that could do the trick. Now Zilio falls as well, and it's just James left. Now then again, we have seen this 1v3 scenario, more so on the other side. But now from the flank comes in that very first round. BetBoom will prevent that 13-0 from happening. But, you know, it's still, you know, they're coming very late to the party.
Is this the part where someone from the org posts all good, did it for the content? Is that... Because it's feeling like one of those moments right now. I feel like I'm being punked. Ashton Kutcher's going to hop out of a door any minute now. Much better. Well, no, it's not necessarily that was a better round from BetBoom. I feel like it was a lot of the same, but PARIVISION kind of fumbled a little bit there. And after 10 consecutive rounds, you know what? We'll forgive them one fumble. And it's so funny to me that right after losing that one round, they instantly throw a timeout. They realize they fumbled that round and they honestly should not have. So insta timeout, last round in the half now. And if they can secure this without a pistol round, BetBoom might just be dead in the water.
I mean, in a similar approach, once again, to try and see if they can set foot into Ivy. They're going pretty fast. Oh, actually, is forced to fall back a bit. Is actually able to get that kill going. Reposition. Is actually going to stay around the corner. Oh, that's Noise. And always getting greedy. He wants that kill. Artfrost is accounting for it. And with the pistol in hand is good for one. But... the rest of his team has already fallen. Once again, it's all Frost by himself. Trying to get a second round here on the board for BetBoom. A 1v2. Now, there's plenty of time for him to work with and space as well.
Oh.
Oh, that is... quite unlucky, but Artfrost does lock in that kill. And now it's a guessing game as to where that last player is going to be coming from. Nota sneaking down the stairs. The lineup is going to be perfect for him. Nota is going to make sure that that one round is only a little speed bump in the road. I'm not sure why we are waiting for a defuse. I guess
content, Vince.
For the... okay, yeah. Just... oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what's happening to BetBoom right now. Everyone is dead. But alright, it is 11-1. A big gap here for BetBoom to make up for. What can they do so? Find out after the break.
till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm.
Excuse me, that was a little tech issue we got going on there, but we are back. It is 11-1, and honestly, we couldn't have ourselves a bigger difference in comparison to map number 1. I mean, map 1, it was a tie, and right here we have a enormous gap here for BetBoom to try and make up for. PARIVISION, though, it was, I mean, they're going guns a-blazing, trying to conquer this lower bomb site, try to, well, set the pace and make BetBoom come up with all the answers.
Oh, so far so good for oh my god, oh no. What? Oh, I thought he got 2 there somehow, and I was like, when did the pistol become a shotgun? All good, only gets 1, but defuse is happening. Hello, somebody? No, not hello, it's yellow. But he gets knocked off of the defuse, but eventually there will be a little bit of cleanup there. The dualies go hard. Diladez steps up. He has been fantastic, not just on this map, and I mean, he's been great on this map, but for his team in any event. Maybe not in the grand scheme of things, but for his team. But on the first map as well, also very, very solid performance there. A much needed pistol round, a stay of execution, another chance to try and bring things back, but 9 consecutive rounds is what is needed to close the gap. Now that might sound like an impossible feat, but PARIVISION did it. So
very true.
I feel like there's a world.
Definitely. And I mean, for BetBoom, it was CT where things definitely, you know, it looked stronger on that previous map. So, on paper, who knows? Options certainly are there. I mean, Artfrost instantly getting that orb out, bringing all the firepower they can afford straight away. PARIVISION taking it slow here, though. Oh, in a conga line. Up again on B, or at least awaiting the entrances of B. Artfrost ready, though, with his orb. But if so many come swarming, it's gonna get quite difficult. Oh, trying to take them down. Oh, Siren, though, he spots a feed, gets hunted down from the other angle, and Artfrost was not quite accounting for that. So he needs to give it up, actually gets tagged in the process. What is going on? PARIVISION making a run for it, and this could potentially work.
Things are going a little bit crazy, but it's down to a 2 versus 2. Unfortunately, Diladez dangerously low HP. 1 stray bullet could turn everything against them. Oh my god, has no idea that James is right there. And the 1 HP Diladez is the only one left alive to try to clutch this out. No kit in hand, so time is not on his side. And that's devastating. To win the pistol and to lose the force in such a heartbreaking fashion. And the craziest part of that is that it all comes down to who was it? That first player that dies, spots the toesies coming down the stairs and then gets shot in the back, and that leaves you know, the player alone on site with absolutely no backup, so he's forced to have to retreat, and PARIVISION can just overrun the site. Map point here for PARIVISION. We're on the verge of a map 3.
Yeah, it was Artfrost back there. who couldn't quite get things going. I mean, BetBoom here with pistols of themselves, trying to get cheeky. Siren gets up close and personal. Goes for 2. 1 trade right back. But, I mean, at least with that, we have a FAMAS, we have an MP9 still in hand. And with Zilio technically also on a pistol. Jane being tagged. Okay, there we go. Weapon found. Picked up. I mean, similar to the last round, this could easily go awry. Trades coming back and forth. And where do PARIVISION want to pick up? They are certainly aware more players could be close. But it's Magno Jazz who's able to deal with at least that one. Just Jame now. No bomb on his back. And, I mean, something in my gut is telling me that he might just want to see if he can hold on to this.
Okay, but at least BetBoom don't, like, utterly capitulate after losing that second round. They're still able to kind of pull themselves towards themselves a little bit. They come out with some semblance of a bye, and they're able to kind of stop that momentum rolling. And, of course, they understand that losing a single round, while they won't lose the series, it will be a devastating loss. Imagine losing 13-3. It will be 3 by the end of this round. And then being forced to have to go all the way to that third map. The mental could certainly be a bit of an issue here. I'm not sure if hunting Jame is the play. This is someone who is very scary with an AWP. And yes, they have decided, you know what? Maybe we won't. Recovered 2 AKs for themselves, and they'll live to fight another day. Cash in hand and certainly available. They'll allow that AWP to survive that little bit longer, which could be a terrifying factor. But for PARIVISION, they're not sweating. They still have 9 rounds of buffer before a sweat even begins to break on their brows.
So Nota has no gun. Okay, there we go. He does now have a pistol. I'm not sure what happened there. But it's a bit awkward. I mean, it seems almost like he was standing AFK with him being that far tucked into the spawn. But there we go. Alright. I guess, you know, quick eco is a good eco. Get it over and done with. BetBoom now on to 4 money back on the board for PARIVISION. It's still not the most, but should be enough for everyone on the rifle and some util around it.
Ooh. Double AWP. This should be very entertaining. I don't hate it on train. I think that there is certainly a case to be made. If it works...
Oh, 2 HP. Not sure how Zilio managed to get out of there alive, burning in the flames, holding that fire, but he does. With that, a step closer to try and get this map over the finish line. Good tags across the board. Siren now falls as well. And it looks like this round is getting more and more difficult by the second. Up PARIVISION as well. Planted that bomb. Timer will tick. Boomage at least gets one back. Perhaps a bit of a lifeline, but they're all stuck behind these smokes. And tucked in one corner, which is gonna get very difficult because all the eyes of PARIVISION are right up on that part of the map. But 2 kills come through, and maybe this round isn't over just yet.
And that should be all she wrote. There you go. Final kill to come through. It's a bit tight, but it does come through in the end there. Talking about breaking a sweat. It wasn't PARIVISION there, but it was certainly BetBoom for a moment. Goodness. But at just the right moment, they snatch that back into their hands. They get to maintain this double AWP setup, which is also very entertaining in and of itself. That wasn't even the big proponent in that previous round either. I mean, it certainly helps to add that little bit of extra pressure, but it's not what ultimately got them over the finish line. Now, PARIVISION, ooh, Tech 9s. I mean, we've seen the shenanigans that they can post up when they have pistols in hand. That's how they won the anti-force, so perhaps we'll see something similar happening here again. Can you imagine the devastation if this is the round that takes us to map 3? But maybe not. Maybe not.
Not quite.
All is right with the world.
I want to say never, but then again, you blink and it is done. And I mean, BetBoom right now, 6 out of 12, you know, halfway there. 6 more to go. But of course, it is another buy coming through from PARIVISION. So another chance to try and close this out.
Kind of wild how, like, I had mentioned the whole CT side thing, and that's kind of where we're looking for magic to happen, but I wasn't expecting it to be quite this pronounced. And it shouldn't be.
No, I mean, going into this game, PARIVISION's track record is very 50-50. 50% win rate on T, and about 50 on CT. I mean, I guess suddenly it was very CT-sided all of a sudden. But, you know, at the end of the day, they still need only one more, and maybe a strong start is all you need. First kill is a fact, but gets shot down straight away by Dilladers. One done fighting with this one just yet, actually stopping that bomb plan as well in the process, so it's good defense thus far. Oh, and Artfrost coming through, back of Ivy. The team doing a very good job, though most of them are sort of stuck in one corner. But as far as the numbers game goes, great advantage. Oof. Jamie accounting for that corner at least, but you blink and he is all by himself. Artfrost will deal with that one, and BetBoom just continue right on. I'm not sure how far we're going, but the momentum certainly is starting to shift.
Feeling like an overtime, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that's wishful thinking or a genuine prediction, but I would certainly be here for it. And 5 more rounds? They've already managed to get like 5 as it stands. So 5 more, certainly doable, but it's another Tech 9 round here for PARIVISION. See if they play this one a little bit more carefully than they had the previous, because they have some good ideas on their pistol round. You know, with MR13, teams have put a lot more stock into eco rounds, pistol rounds, things like that. And, well, there you go. Beautiful opener onto the AWP. Okay.
Right, everyone in a train going back. I'll probably try and regroup towards B. Util deployed still on A, trying to keep the CTs busy, maybe keep them guessing. And it was tempted to go in for a bit of a further peek, but now his back is turned. And this could be the opportunity. I mean, Nota is still there, very quick with the trade. Maybe exactly what PARIVISION needs, and now a Molly there to delay, keep them at bay. Oh, the defense is strong once more. It's blue in the kill feed. Time will tick. And James trying to get the work done from far away, and that means it's just a pistol left done fighting with. And that's a very tough scenario. Not quite being able to get yourself off the ground, get yourself on the site. And, I mean, it's kind of the same story over and over again. The table has completely flipped.
It certainly felt for a moment there like that might just be the crazy round that somehow takes us over the finish line. To BetBoom's credit, they are able to stabilize, the mark of a very strong team indeed. How much longer can they keep this up? Rifles back on board now for PARIVISION, but PARIVISION are struggling in much the same way that BetBoom did. I'm going to be honest here. We're seeing very similar cracks in these approaches. We're now seeing util being used, but CTs on both sides seeming to use this geometry very much to their favor, not allowing any space to be garnered by the T's. Bomb is now being dropped. Caught with util out. Bomb is recovered. Nope, not recovered. He gets snuck up on. That's unfortunate. Now we're going to molly the bomb to ensure that it certainly cannot be recovered. Down to one player remaining. And BetBoom just continuously feeling in charge of the second half.
We're going to be doing a bit of sneaking around. Ooh, I mean, first kill is a fact. Of course, it will reveal James' position. And there's still a lot of more work left to do. And that with an open hand is... It's not maybe the best weapon. I mean, maybe if you're James. I mean, he has the right idea, but the timing is off. Boomich able to secure that kill nice and easy. And with that 9 on the board now for BetBoom. Still map point for PARIVISION. I mean, it does make me wonder a little bit. We haven't seen too many timeouts, actually, throughout both of these two maps. This could be a potential moment where you would say, come on, guys, let's try and see if we can... I mean, maybe not this round because the money's quite low for PARIVISION, so it's not quite going to be this round, most likely, for them to try and close it out. But at some point, I think they need a little bit of extra time to breathe. Get everyone back on the same page.
They did take a very interesting timeout after BetBoom had won a singular round previously. But yes, since then, we haven't had much of anything happening. And I mean, this is a round that's pretty much going the way that we had anticipated. 10-12. Listen, I was joking about overtime. I just want everyone to be really clear on that. I did not actually believe that it was going to happen. And yet...
I mean, it's potential classic Asticus. It happens.
Ugh.
See, you have manifested it a little, like, too hard.
That's crazy.
Oh god. Well, I mean, we either finish it now or potentially the next round, but otherwise it is going to overtime. Certainly all that wiggle room that we had going on, it is almost gone. PARIVISION again not off to the strongest of starts. Zilio Falls was already low, and Belchonik also tagged up. So they're quite on the tippy toes. Not a lot of util there as well to work with. Okay. Maybe just trying to go for a setup. But again, re-smoking that. And Magno just, okay, he's getting very close. Maybe was expecting a push to come through that smoke.
PARIVISION losing here puts money in pretty much in the drink. They'll still be able to force up. But the chances of them winning in that round, while not impossible, are very, very low. So BetBoom winning here puts us on the fast track to overtime. Now some good utility to slow them down, flashes to get a little bit of space, but we're checking the wrong angles, boys. We're checking in all the wrong places. It's down to a 2 versus 2, so it's definitely doable. Artfrost not able to connect any of those shots, and Boomich now has to come up absolutely nuclear. Spots the first, a lot of early damage done, but position has been calmed over. He'll reposition now, but footsteps obviously going to be heard, so they'll know that he's kind of prancing around the site, looking for information, looking for anyone. Finally, will clean up that first kill. Still doesn't know where the second player is. He didn't see him. He didn't see him. Not like this. Not with a bang, but with a whimper as Jame closes out Train. Overtime not to be, but map 3 certainly on the horizon.
Yeah, this is honestly still wild in the fashion that this map went down. I guess Train is extremely CT-sided, and T-side has been made impossible to win on, or at least if you are one of these two teams. I mean, there's a lot here to unwind, because ultimately, you know, both teams struggled to get a game plan, to get a proper execute out. The economy game, you know, when you have this continuous streak that you're trying to beat up against, it's getting real tough, and you deal with a lot of these eco rounds, half buys, ultimately not quite feeling like you're able to play your own game on T side. So yeah, it's rough, but you know, we get to go all the way. We get our third map.
Yeah, it's definitely not over just yet. We're going to be heading on over to that third map very, very shortly, and I'm sure that we are all very excited for it. Train was a far more close affair than maybe we had expected, but what remains now is Mirage. It's one of the holy trinity of maps. We're going to take a short break, folks. When we return, we'll find out who will win this grand final and book their ticket to the regional finals.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. Gonna hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring a roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the final map here of this best of 3 between PARIVISION and BetBoom. Now, 3 maps. This is how far this grand final is gonna go. Very first map, we thought, all right, BetBoom has quite the upper hand. But right now here, over on the second map, things took a wild turn with it being very CT side. It almost went to overtime. But yet here we are. It is Mirage, and it is going to be time to battle it out. Now, having watched these first 2 maps, Sam, who do you think this is going to favor?
So I'm going to go ahead and say it had less to do with CT-sided nature of the map and more to do with just not really knowing what to do on the T side, which is very interesting because it felt like the opposite on Ancient. Mirage tends to be kind of middling ground for teams, and obviously with it coming through as a third map, it is a bit of a handshake map, but I'm not ready to move away from my initial prediction. I think that BetBoom are still favored by me at the very least. Chat, you can let us know who you think is coming out on top of this one, but I'm sticking with my guns.
Oh, well, things go pretty quick. Back and forth, but B is completely clear. So bomb plan can come through, but the CTs are quite close already. Oh, well, that's a kill to take home already. Numbers grow on the side of PARIVISION, trying to hold their ground, and it's just Artfrost all by himself. Spots a shoulder, spots a head, but on the flip side, it is James who lands the final blow. Strong start here for PARIVISION.
Yeah, it's another pistol round that they can pocket for themselves, but we've had it happen twice where a team has won the anti-force somehow. So I'll be very curious to see if that does, like, happen. I think it's happened twice. So if it did happen again, that would be the third time. BetBoom. Okay, we've got some upgraded pistols here. The Scout could be the big one, but no, because the entirety of PARIVISION have made their way over to apps, so the Scout's unlikely to get too much value here. It should be somewhat of a foregone conclusion, theoretically.
Oh, trying to deal with that player up on car. But it took quite a while, honestly. Still the player advantage once more for PARIVISION. Granted with that. A bomb planned, and, well, yeah, of course, with the force that came into this round. BetBoom is going to back off and save that Scout, the util, upgraded pistols for the next. At least should be enough firepower to go again, get a couple kills next round. But it is a shame that this time around the force is not quite paying off.
Unlucky, truly. I think with the nature of how this round went, though, like there was very few opportunities for the anti-force to actually do much of anything. You got the entirety of PARIVISION running in through apartments, and it is a very small, like, enclosed space to try to make your way through, but the weaponry that BetBoom had just did not avail itself to that pop. And on top of that, they only really had one player towards the B site, so there was very little that could happen there. The stars kind of needed to align for that one to work out in their favor, and unfortunately, that wasn't the case. And a fairly clean bonus into this next round as well. PARIVISION only have to kind of reinvest the bare minimum, make sure that they got their utility up to scratch where necessary. Oh, in fact, they're going to be putting quite a spend into this one, getting everybody up to rifles, taking full advantage of the, well, advantage.
Say that, but all gets absolutely deleted up in tunnels. At least James is able to get the numbers back to even. So far guarding that rifle. Without going maybe on a bit of a exploration mission down into its tunnels he shall go, while the bomb still remains up in apartments. Hopefully everyone of the team is getting a plan together. Mid control is something that they hope for. Get at least a smoke down up on window. Molly into connector. But there's still 2 players sitting, waiting up on short. One already made himself known. Oh, forced to go forward and will die in the flames. Good play. But now 30 seconds left on the clock and a decision will have to be made. Well, A is going to be the plan so far. I mean, the bomb plan isn't even necessary to just clean everyone up. And PARIVISION continue the streak. 3 rounds, but finally we got a bit more money on the board for BetBoom. Orb is actually coming out as well. So let's see what they've got. CT notoriously is their more favored side. Time to see if they can do so on this map as well, because Mirage, tends to be a lot more 50-50 when it comes down to CT versus T. So as far as playstyle goes, who knows, maybe PARIVISION can do the same, but only this time on T side.
I will say that round pretty much went as expected. The big question mark is going to come into this one. Artfrost feels like he's going to be a bit of a linchpin for this one. Posted up in a position where he would be able to back away in cases of extreme danger. PARIVISION, I thought for a moment maybe the spidey senses were tingling, but no, they're still kind of angling for this. They have so much utility. I've said that Artfrost has an exit point, but will he actually be able to utilize it? Footsteps are going to be heard here. He's going to... Oh my god. The change in camera angle there was nasty, and Artfrost just gets absolutely deleted. Zelo with a triple kill to crack open the site and make it untouchable. Velas, they didn't even use utility. They just ran onto the site. Okay.
I mean, aim. Sometimes that is all you need. Quick on the trigger. PARIVISION is still yet to plant the bomb. There is 1 player lurking in market. Well, not anymore. Just Boomich on the other side. Holding on to his rifle. But it's actually going to get hunted down, or at least by the looks of it. Players going in towards ramp, trying to close him in. Beltronic checking the other corner first. I mean, understandable, but the timing is unfortunate. But there we go. Only 1 kill then. PARIVISION, so far so good. Pretty clean. Keep getting the bomb plants consecutively as well. And yeah, instantly, I mean, this is a very different view already. BetBoom is going to call a very early timeout here.
My mind is still reeling from how Zelo manages to run in and get 3 kills after sitting Artfrost down. Like, and all he did was swing. Like, just... Pain. Yeah. I wonder if BetBoom are just boomed at this point.
I mean, I hope not, because ideally I want to see them being competitive. Because that very first map, they were playing very good Counter-Strike. But map 2, they fell flat. I mean, they were almost able to come back into the game. But the damage that PARIVISION already dealt was eventually too great. And now PARIVISION maybe is able to capitalize off of that momentum. Strong early start, and things, I mean, do look scary, because in the same way, PARIVISION with a clean record early game could be the recipe for success.
Also, this is one of the slowest we've seen from PARIVISION. That doesn't necessarily mean that they've been like crazy, hyper aggressive, go, just accelerator from start to finish. But we haven't seen them this slow and in this many rounds. Like, they're really being super methodical about their approach, and you can see that there's like a gravitas to this of like realizing this is last chance saloon. You know, if we lose here, there's every possibility we don't have a second chance to win a cup and get to that regional qualifier. So you want to secure this.
Oh, back and forth. And again, it's BetBoom still up on pistols, a single MP9, a bomb plant. Alright, Siren does have an AK now, which he will go and run away with. Try to save that. Artfrost maybe. I mean, he can help out his teammate. Because if they once again go for a bit of a hunt, you want to see if he can keep a hold of that, but... Another weapon would also be nice, but maybe this time around PARIVISION is not quite going to be granting that for free. But it's so methodical. PARIVISION really... I mean, they execute, they're in the corners. Even in a round like this, where there's definitely a clear advantage in favor of them. But... so far, it just feels clean. Which is what we would like to see.
I mean, it's very reminiscent, you know, you were saying to Train earlier. PARIVISION just getting this like crazy potential runaway lead. We're still fairly early doors on this one, but possibility definitely feels like it may be on the horizon. But okay, so now BetBoom have a proper buyout. We've got the AWP back in Artfrost's hands. They have like 6 kills across the entire team, and we're 5 rounds in. Like, this has been... it's been a tough start to the third map. We definitely need to see a little bit more out of them here. Artfrost with a very advanced position. And he's got good sight lines both to mid and to apartments. So he can kind of help cover lines. No, Dilatez, how are you getting caught in window like that?
This is rough. Again, the early start not in favor of BetBoom. Constantly being 0 to 1 behind. Alright, well, looks like PARIVISION have set up their minds as to where they want to go. Flash is there, as well as the trade. So they can still pick up the pace. Up for still there, dancing with an AWP on the back of the side. Good for 2, not quite able to escape, but at least numbers are made even. Now a bomb plant. We're trying to slip through the smoke. The lineup almost there. The very good trade once more on the side of PARIVISION. Is he able to hang on? He does. Great use there of the flash, but oh my lord. I mean, it's getting down to the wire at least now in these rounds, but PARIVISION is still coming out top.
This is insane, man. I mean, we're talking about like rounds being scrappy and really close and like going back and forth, but ultimately one team, you know, kind of more consistently coming out on top of them. But to see it kind of playing out in a map like this, in a map 3, where it's that much more important for these wins to be coming through. Oh my goodness, we're seeing a timeout. Somebody pinch me. There's
another one. Oh wait, this surely has to be a technical one. Just looking at the HUD.
Yes, I was looking at the...
Oh, my mind is
stopwatch.
deceiving me, but yeah.
Maybe the 2 things happened simultaneously and they were like, we're going to take a timeout.
Yeah.
Somebody's disconnected. Well...
Could be. I mean, it says tactical, but considering there's only 4 players, maybe a bit of both can happen. I mean, they had a timer not too long ago, but I mean, the things go right, the pressure's cooking, especially this at the stage in the best of 3. Wouldn't have been too surprised, but yeah, unfortunately, gotta do a little bit of a waiting game. There we go. Official confirmation. It is a technical pause.
It is now.
It is now. It wasn't before.
Ooh. Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit at a loss here for the BetBoom squad. You know, it's felt a lot like just brute force, like you know when they're like bouncers and you're trying to make your way into the club and the bouncers are just like laughing at you. It's more like a movie thing. This never actually happened to me because I'm tiny, and getting into a fight with a bouncer would probably be suicidal. But you know, the things you see in movies, and it's felt a bit like these guys. Now, stick with me here because I'm going to turn things around a little bit because normally the bouncers would be more defensive, but that same brute force tactic that would lock people out of getting into the club is exactly what we're seeing from PARIVISION right now. Like, they're just running. You know what it is? It's that scene in The Lion King with Mufasa and the wildebeest. Yep. That's where that is. Scratch the club analogy. It's all Mufasa all day.
Yeah. Oh, God. I mean, yeah, sometimes that is all you need. I mean, but it's true, though. Like, PARIVISION is, like, ever since Map 2 is, well, been trying to lock on, didn't quite go smooth all the way. Like, T-side was a bit of a flaw, but to both sides. But yeah, now, I mean, the stakes are high. You need to show up when it matters. And so far, there's definitely one team that is seeming to be the stronger one.
I'm curious to see how the rest of the map's going to play itself out. Just because of how one-sided this start has been. Especially when you consider how strange the first two maps were. Alright, technical issues sorted out. So we should be jumping back into this. I am curious if BetBoom did in fact manage to get attack timeout, if that was actually the plan, and if they've had some sort of a conversation, because something's got to change.
I mean, something needs to, yeah, exactly. Like, it's still sort of early in the map, but you're already feeling like time is running out and not too much wiggle room anymore now that we are into map number 3. At least sort of a decent buy. Definitely not up on the level of PARIVISION, but should be enough to make this a competitive round. But how will PARIVISION play this one out? So far, very slow. And I mean, we haven't seen too much default plays. They tend to kind of group up, or at least go for a side split. But oh, I mean, they make a bit of noise over towards A here. Not quite fully committing though, just maybe wanting to bait out utility, which certainly has been the case. And I mean, you see movement across the map already. There's an extra player rotated over now towards A. And a bomb, meanwhile, slowly sneaking towards the opposite bomb site.
Noted dodging all of those bullets, somehow managing to survive that a little bit longer. They've got space guarded in towards mid, but oh, I was going to say that's such an important engagement, but he comes out the better of it. Zelio again, just the veritable can opener of this B site and shuts down Magnajez, trying to rush in on his own, I might add. Not sure what the plan was there, but whatever it was, it fails miserably, and this should be a save. And there you have it, folks. A 7th round.
Yeah. And again, I'm starting to get a bit of a deja vu of that previous map. But only then, you know, the floor was T-side. Now PARIVISION is showing up, and of course Mirage is not trained. And the way the maps are balanced is definitely different. But it's a good sign, because over on Ancient as well, T-side was a bit lackluster. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Lose another player, actually. And not able to take Godfrey's out with the orb, so that gets saved. I mean, they got plenty of money to reinvest, but that shouldn't really have happened.
Yeah, especially the team kill, that just makes it that much spicier. I suppose at that point, when that's happened, you're like, okay, well, now we've got to commit, right? Like, we can't back out now, you know? We've gone too deep, chat. I'm a little bit worried that maybe we're in too deep for BetBoom as well. I'd like to see a bit more proactivity from them, I'll be honest. Like, the worst we've... Well, not the worst, but the most proactive we've seen is taking a slightly more advanced position into the doorway of apartments. But we're not seeing any, like, palace wraps. We're not seeing... Okay, apartments push is probably not great because PARIVISION like to angle towards apartments. But try and garner some map control where you can. Unfortunately, when you don't have that map control and you don't have that information, then you have moments like that where Diladez gets caught entirely unawares from that underpass position, and now, within the blink of an eye, you're at a player disadvantage.
I mean, I kind of do like with PARIVISION taking things slow, even on the back of that kill. Sometimes you want to go in too eager, just throw everything out right on the back of an opener. But they take it slow. Again, make the util on the side of BetBoom a bit more dire. Try to grant them more advantages. Now, I do like this approach from Boomich. Wanted to get up close and personal with the MP9, hopefully pre-fire modem down, only, again, for it to flip completely up its head. I mean, there is 2 additional kills coming through, but from pretty far away. And with the bomb already planted, it's going to take quite a while and effort for them to group up and try and retake this site. James is in prime position with the orb, good for a kill. Now, again, a trade. But so many more angles to clear, and there is another additional player towards that angle. Outforce, there is pretty much no way for him to deal with that angle and has to run away. You can see it, it's frustration. Because again, BetBoom is not going to win a round.
Yeah, that was a cosmetic clear if I've ever seen one. Because you actually watch him turn around and check jungle, but he's not actually expecting anyone to be there, so he just keeps going. Artfrost is being more Jame than Jame is today, which is hilarious. I say that, Jame only has 1 death. But we've seen Artfrost save a whole hell of a lot. He only has 4 deaths, so that's quite entertaining in and of itself, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're on 2 out of 3 tactical timeouts, so they did get to take that timeout a little bit earlier on. Unfortunately, did not amount to much. And this is one of the first rounds where we've seen PARIVISION go kind of pretty decisively towards that A site. There's been a lot of those B hits, very similar to what we saw on Ancient, funnily enough. But they do actually go towards that A site this time around, and it gets a little bit spicy, but they take the site so easily. Like, they're in, the bomb is planted, and sure, they lose a couple of players on the cross, but they get themselves into post-plant position, and the retake is utterly lackluster from BetBoom, and it just feels like a rehashing of things we've seen so consistently over the course of the night.
In a very slow early start with PARIVISION. Slowly making moves, slowly getting map control. Or kind of waiting for BetBoom to make the first move to see how they play. Where gaps can open up across the map. And maybe get inside the heads of BetBoom a little bit of, you know, this creeping anxiety as to where they're gonna go. What strat are they gonna pull out of the bag this time? Are we ready for it? The longer the wait, the more that will rise. Boomich again up with a close angle, only this time towards Palace. Jiggling around the corner, hoping that this time something will go down. A meat grinder, that's 1. But a trade to come through. But it's good damage though on the side of PARIVISION. There's 2 players low. And a player advantage, in fact, here for BetBoom. Still not gonna prevent them from planting that bomb. But it's gonna get quite tough here to try and escape from the bomb side, trying to tuck yourself in a corner. I mean, Nota, okay, does go for an opportunity. I like that. But not before already the numbers become too dire. CTs come swarming in. And with that, it is BetBoom securing the very first round up on the board.
Taken them a very long time to get to this point. They did it a little bit faster than what they did on train at the very least, but still a decided uphill battle. This time around, just looking that little bit cleaner on holding it down. Fairly good read, if you can call it a read, I suppose. They were playing weaker side B in any event, strong side A. So, you know, they've got everybody kind of ready and waiting for that exec to come through. I think there's a world in which Boomich doesn't get one there, and then everything is an absolute disaster, but he gets one and he's traded, and he can call that information to the rest of the team, and they can pivot and be ready. Why are we strong siding B all of a sudden? They hit A twice, and we're like, all right, guys, they're probably going B again. And now they've got almost a free pathing onto the A site, if they so choose. So they certainly haven't committed to anything just yet. A little bit of poking and prodding. They have been playing a slightly slower game. And that's actually giving a lot of time for BetBoom. They garnered a lot of information over towards B, realized nothing's happening there, and now they've spread themselves quite nicely. So it's actually worked out really well for them. They didn't overstay their welcome, and as the util comes through, that gives the game away.
No bloodshed thus far, and while blind, there's a trade going on. Zilio again with another frag to add to his name. Player advantage with that. Oh my lord. Connected with a counter spray through the smoke. And yes, again, players are low, but PARIVISION strikes right back. And again, BetBoom with a bit of a speed bump across the road at most, because PARIVISION is going to be picking up right where they've left off. Oh. No weapon for you. It's just Art Frost with your... Oh my lord. Okay. Not gonna happen. Not at all. Don't even want the orb. It's going fine for PARIVISION.
I mean, certainly worth pointing out that Ziello woke up. Not to say that he was necessarily having a bad performance on previous maps, but certainly not to the level that we're seeing right now. This is a pretty big resurgence, and that's making a lot of difference as well. I was talking about him being a can opener over on the B side, but it seems like no matter where they post him up, he's good for the multis. One round away from double digits. This time around, they will posture over towards B. BetBoom should have heard a lot of the noise being made. So they're going to keep some presence over towards B. But look at how the bomb hasn't actually moved anywhere yet. And again, it's another round where PARIVISION poke and prod a little bit, throw out a bit of utility, try to garner some space, look for that opening kill. And that will inform where they actually want to finish up. And despite all the noise that's been made, BetBoom's still a little unsure, still a little bit paranoid, not willing to commit presence anywhere really. Strong presence in towards mid, but the sites remain somewhat unguarded.
Yeah, in fact, it's Siren as well now. Stacking up on short, abandoning the site itself. I mean, okay, maybe giving it another look in. But it's all a bit, you know, awaiting that tension now. First kill again coming through. And they know that was an additional player up in the window, so that's going to get smoked. Further control taken by PARIVISION, but of course they still need to make a move. And Dilladas is just waiting for an opportunity, but just gets swung wide. At least Art Frost found one, but B-side is completely open, and at most we're going to see a rotation come through from Siren, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to hold it back by himself. Though 10 seconds, if he gets a kill, maybe, just maybe, it can be done, but it's not quite going to come through. Still a 3-on-3, but his team will have to get from quite far. At least Boomich, good for one already. And it's causing PARIVISION to maybe get a bit more proactive, trying to swing, and they will go for it straight away. Artfrost having no choice but to make noise. Try and see if he can bait a player out to catch with the AWP. Oh, the timing is nothing but awkward. Oh my. Oh, well. And with that, we have double digits for PARIVISION.
Not only that, but last round in the half now as well. Opportunities for BetBoom continue to dwindle away. I don't know. PARIVISION have just had the read on this map from start to finish, and they've heavily leaned over towards B. They realized very early on that that was a weak spot for BetBoom, and BetBoom have struggled here, and you can see now reinforcing heavily. 3 players. Finally, we're seeing some proactivity, but it could just be too little too late. This first kill is going to be everything. It's a trade, but they've taken the raid boss out of the server, so maybe there's a world if Magnajez can win this fight, if he can take down Or, and yes, he does, and maybe, just maybe, BetBoom get 2, but it's taken so long for them to get in their faces, to make these spaces, or to take these spaces away from them, and it might just be too late.
Almost rotating over towards A, and so far the gamble of BetBoom seems to be the right answer. Though I'm not... Okay, there we go. I was about to say I'm not 100% sure, but it was just Jame throwing out a smoke to help out his teammate. But after 1 kill, Nota does also fall, so we'll just rely on these two trying to do the job together. That's not quite going off the easy path. Simon looking away. And by the time he will peek again, his head is taken off. Opportunity? Perhaps Belchonok is 5 HP, but not taken out just yet. And Jame now eyes up on Boomage. Oh, but it's a jumping MP9 kill. Oh, my lord. Well, Boomage certainly will lock that second round in, but is it going to be enough to take them back into the game? Find out after the break. 10-2. It's a large margin here for PARIVISION to work with to try and get it over the line. It's only 3 more they need, and they lock themselves into the EU regional finals here at ESL Challenger League. But, I mean, we were there last map as well. It was very close, and they almost let the lead go to waste. So we've got to wait and see what BetBoom can still do now that they are up on T-side.
I was about to say, we've certainly been here before. The cosmetic comeback was so real over on Train. We'll see if PARIVISION allow that to become an issue again this time around. Now on their CT side, a lot of space to work with. Jane will crack that one open and start shutting things down as quick as possible. Jungle's been overrun, but that could give them a pivot point, or they'll have to move back towards site. Unfortunately, PARIVISION play that very, very well. They shut down any avenues of ingress or egress, really, and they get themselves up to 11. And without the pistol, things take a turn for the worse.
And especially without a bomb plant, that means there is little to no money in the bank for BetBoom to even work with this round. But, you know, you gotta throw everything you've got against the wall to try and make this work. So it's gonna be a deagle at best. A couple flashes, a couple smokes, but that's it. Needs to be a very calculated play in order to turn the tables around. I mean, I would have to say, PARIVISION doesn't have the most util either. Lot already thrown here in the early round, but still, M4 versus pistol. So far, the kill feed is not lying. It's just Siren that is left standing all by himself. Bomb dropped in jungle. The pistol and a dream.
I'm to be quite honest. The dream is dead. It's over. It's done. We had a good run, boys. Oh! Okay, we can at least make it an expensive dead dream. But not terribly. Map and series point now for PARIVISION. BetBoom. Oh, do they have an answer? Do they have anything to try to fight back with at this point? I mean... 2 rounds consecutively with no bomb plant means that they have no guns. They've got a couple of upgraded pistols. The bare minimum... Actually, no. Utility-wise, they're looking good. But without the firepower to back that up, it's going to have to be a ridiculously aggressive play. And I think that PARIVISION may even read into this quite nicely. We're already seeing a little bit of that stall utility coming through to kind of make it that little bit more difficult to actually get out onto the site. But very quickly, exec util starts to come through. Are they going to commit to this? I suppose they have to. And they're so slow.
Yeah, you say you have to, but they're all standing still, looking at one another. I mean, they need to make the smoke disappear, give a bit of info. Are they really going for this? I guess not. And PARIVISION, with that, they will keep their posts. And just play the waiting game, honestly. Bit more of a passive angle now. Well, they still had a bit of a util left, so they're gonna go for another try, deploying once more all the util. Bit of a tag up on Boomich, and can they cross the side? That's the question. So far, it's being made real difficult. 2 players down already. And I mean, the bomb is slowly lurking in towards Connector by himself. I mean, I get that you want to get a kill, get a bit of an advantage, something to work with, but the time is ticking, not in your favor. Now that bomb is dropped, everyone is wiped out. And it is a very convincing third map here. PARIVISION has taken it all the way. With that, they've locked themselves a spot into the EU regional finals.
Yeah, the first 2 maps were not exactly convincing, but this last map, that is the word. I will say that last round I understood kind of what the thought process was. You throw out all the utility, make it look like a fake, and then hopefully they all leave and go to the B-bomb site, and then A is relatively open. But it's not the first time that we've seen that be attempted or something similar. And whoever happens to be on CT's side just does not buy in. And unfortunately, what was an interesting idea for a round, let's face it, when your backs are pressed that heavily against the wall, it's going to take more than good ideas. It takes an absolute miracle, and the miracle was not here today. So huge congratulations to PARIVISION. They won the roster shuffle growing pains I don't know, head to head. They came out on top. They are looking a lot more cohesive than maybe expected. And as you said, they're going to book themselves that ticket all the way to the regional final to fight it out for a spot at Pro League. And I'm sure we'll see them back in Season 2, but we should definitely see BetBoom coming back as well. So hopefully, harder, better, stronger, faster. They'll have a little bit of time to kind of iron out some of the crinkles and creases. And yeah, just hoping for a somewhat better look from them.
Yeah, I mean, the finals, of course, are still quite far away. That's going to happen in November. But before then, we have 3 more cups, in fact, that are going to be taking place, with the second one happening quite soon. In only about a week from now, we're going to be kicking things off back over here in the EU region. But up until then, we hope you enjoyed tonight's stream, as well as the game and the teams you have been watching over the past 3 weeks. Now, from us, it's going to be a good night, but we hope to see you back again another time.
The day is ours and we seize it. Haters, man, they got reasons. Grab the moment, we freeze it. Go to the touch, oh what a rush. Follow your heart, homie, go where the love. Let it rain, let it flow, let it flood. Swimming in good vibrations, it's a celebration. It's the liberation of everything we are. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try to bring you down. Do not let them just go ahead and get it, get it, get it, get it. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try to bring you down. Do not let them just go ahead and get it, get it, get it, get it. I'm all in, I'm here to receive it. No limits, got to believe it. Amen, I know that you feel it. From the ashes, rise like a phoenix. I'm all in, I'm here to receive it. No limits, got to believe it. Amen, I know that you feel it. From the ashes, rise like a phoenix. Loving you is so easy. You caked up and I squeeze it. We picking up all the pieces. Oh, my broken heart and we fix it. Make it better when you kiss it. We got to get it, yeah, we tips it. We getting drunk off our loving. They talk a big game, but they bluffing. Every time you in the clouds, they gon' try to bring you down. Do not let them go.
Damn, guys, we almost had this.
Thank God it's over.
Bored of endless matchmaking? Take your first step towards ECL, experiencing real strategies against teams of your skill. Learn more at fce.gg/ECL.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, Qiddiya, and 1xBet.
I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. 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 Going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my speaker calm blows. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my speaker calm.